feeling all right? I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's clinic. I've just been filling in ever since she disappeared. I'm tired and out of my depth and miserable all the time. But I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up. My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked and turned into an awful philanderer. I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew he would sooner have me killed than give me my right. So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. And then the fires came. As he prepared to evacuate our villa, I gathered our most precious belongings, coins and gemstones, and the moment his back was turned, I ran. I could barely see for the smoke, and the streets were full of people trampling each other. I ran for the river, like everyone else, and leapt in. The next thing I remember, I was waking up on a riverbank, not far from here. It's all right. Say what you will about this place. At least my fornicating husband will never find me. And while there's no shortage of snakes here, at least with the golden rule, they have to try to be discreet about it. Oh, this shrine was in use as a clinic long before any of us arrived here. Kind of strange to set up a clinic in the temple of the god of disease. But the god who inflicts a curse is also the only god who can undo it. So I suppose praying to Apollo for healing kind of makes sense. Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, but she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good too. Until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying. But I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues, like she could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem, a real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints are inflamed and he's in constant pain. I really shouldn't say. He wouldn't like it. And he's a little bit scary. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off. And I worry he'll end up losing his temper and lashing out. And you know what that means. I just know Nevia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace. You did? That's unexpected. But tell me, what is it? Willowback. I should have known. It was under my nose the whole time. That's very helpful. Thank you. If this works, it should settle Rufus down some. I have some right here. Could you do me a favor and give him some of this? He'll just need to swallow a pinch of it. I'm hoping it will avert disaster.
She gave it to me because I said it, huh? Look at that. Willowbark, dude.
Thank you. I'm really glad you arrived when you did. That's a shame. Thanks again for saying...
Is it nighttime now? Oh. Let's tell her stuff, dude. There's so much stuff going on happening at once.
Arve again. Did you find what you need? And did you notice anything? A pattern? That's true. I know I wasn't entirely sure how I wound up here. It's as I feared. I think I understand what
She's, like,
poor
cross-eyed,
Olivia has
dude.
been going through. Let
One
me
eye's
ask you
looking
this.
directly at me, one
Did
eye's
you
looking
happen
over
to
here.
encounter a stranger in the forest before you arrived here?
Yeah, Karen.
And did you happen to catch her name? I see. And was this Karen by
She
any
had a hood?
chance
I don't know if
wearing
she
a
was wearing
hood?
it.
Because I've seen her before. There's something I think you should see. I think you'd better follow me to the baths. But don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together.
Has the time changed or am I just tripping out? Well, she can just go there then and just do the rheumatoid arthritis, dude. Actually, it seems so dark in here now. Oh, the shutters, dude. Communal toilets, so you can talk to people and say, hello, man, what's going on? Made me laugh, like, what if these were actually stalls, but the wood part, like, broke away or something, you know? Instead, they're communal. You know, I'm just joking. I don't know if they had it in writing and stuff. Oh man, I don't think I could climb up there, huh? Let me see. No.
Oh my! I've never seen a lamp like that. Praise Apollo. All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp. But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it, only your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen. It was C-H-A-R-O-N. As
Oh.
in Charon, the ferryman of the dead.
Yeah.
Charon, who, in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means.
We're all dead, dude.
I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can. That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, or even Greek, you would know these stories. each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks. To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti, and Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again. Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river, but that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not. No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help, I promise you. Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter, Orpheus, a Thracian poet, Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra, and Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide. It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft. And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that, thanks to the writings left behind by those who've tried. All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril. Shh! Is everyone so blunt where you're from? Oh. That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the Golden Rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules. Are you telling me that you can? I won't pretend to understand exactly what that means, but if that's true, then perhaps you stand a chance. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day. But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again. It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque. Good question. To answer that, we first need to ask who would have defaced the obelisk in the first place. It would have had the god's name engraved into it, so it may be that whoever desecrated it wanted
Guess it's a
that
Christian
name to
plaque,
be
huh?
forgotten.
That's my
And
guess.
there's only one group of people I know of who might want to do that. There's a cult in Rome that often argued there is only one true god. Theirs, of course. They've been known to start fires, as well as deface religious monuments whose existence challenged their beliefs. If I were you, I'd go looking for them. Of course, they've all been in hiding since the fire last year, so finding them won't be easy. But I did hear a rumor they have a secret shrine somewhere in the city. Perhaps, if you could find that, you might be able to recover the Roman plaque. I'm afraid you're on your own with that one, but perhaps finding the other 3 will illuminate the way. Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, will be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks ago. But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so perhaps you could talk to her, or just take a look in his room. I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. His store is in the forum. As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds, so they should be taken with a grain of salt. First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage. If the stories are true, then I suppose so. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels? Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say? Fascinating. Perhaps she's a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps... Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out? Oh, I see. Well, let me know if you hear anything that might be a thread through this labyrinth. All right. I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as possible. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret all this time. Perhaps it would comfort her to know she's not alone. In any case, time is of the essence, so you'd best begin. May Fortuna guide you. Although you may not need her with Proserpina on your side.
Alright, I'm kind of curious. Is it a sin to shoot people with the... Here we go. Oh, are you for real?
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Let's fight, dude. It doesn't work. I don't mind escaping and thinking. Let's just fucking... Yeah, shoot all your frames, dude. Steal it. Come on, you bastard. Oh, you lucky bastard. Let's start it all over, dude. Brand spanking new era. No more clouds. It's daytime again. Never even fulfilled a full day, dude. You like my sword?
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and why you look like you've just taken on a gladiator and lost? Oh, sounds serious. I'm listening. All right, let me see. Stop Fabia going in, but send the new arrival to the empty shrine. Understood. Yulia? Oh no. All right, I can do that. I'll go, but once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
Wow. Look at me. Hector, look at me, Hector. Hector, look at me. Look at me, Hector. Look at me, Hector. How do I save the slave, dude? What's in here? Oh, look at that. Look at that, dude. We're finding all the treasure. Now where do we go? I'm curious, can we shoot the goat? Guess it's okay. This is golden eggs. You know about that? They're only egg source, dude. Like this. No. Let's see that other. Where is it? Here we go.
Well, isn't that an impressive... Ah, you're here.
Here, let's
And
see.
you're not like any Rome. Why? Just because I'm a woman? Honey, it's your loss. I take back what I said.
Okay, so it's everything.
So
It's
let's
always
just
like
forget
that.
that. Not for a few weeks now. Last time I saw him, he was sitting at a table with Georgius, whispering about some job. I remember because they kept looking over their shoulders as if they didn't want anyone else to know. So, naturally, I hovered. The
Gossip
one word
bastard.
I kept hearing was vanishing. And then, the next day, Kabash just disappeared. Coincidence? I think not. I just try not to think about it. Drink helps with that. As the saying goes, to drink is human, so we drink.
See, so this one I
All
could,
right,
I
see
could
ya.
talk to her. The other one, it's like,
Cerberus lifts his triple head.
And lets out
okay, so
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
okay, so how much money do I even have? Holy, 16,000. Do I have one of those already? I do, look. I'm really liking this. I want to save that guy. Or is it too late, dude? I would like to save him. But it seems to me that you live your life like a candle in the wind. He's gonna commit seppuku, dude. She thought she was cool. It was just gold. Weak. Don't do it. I saved her. It's over here. No. It's not over there. That's a wall anyway, so. Let's see where the fuck that guy is. Can I jump over? So I could avoid it, like. Yeah, like this thing. Come from the other side. Don't do it!
Salve,
Oh my
friend.
God.
I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the... That's good. If you're not on... Well, we've all been where... I used to lay awake at night contemplating the big question. I still don't have any of the answers.
Come on, dude.
Please keep that to yourself. I know you're not from around here, but... things are very difficult for us right now. There was a terrible fire in Rome last year, and our emperor decided to make us his scapegoats. There were executions. It was horrible. Oh, thank you. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. Here, in this place, the magistrate has me earning my keep by cleaning and pruning the gardens. It's not quite how I expected my life to go. I used to live in a lovely villa on the banks of the Tiber. I was even betrothed to a handsome young man from a prominent family. But long hours of menial labor for the good of the community has its own charms too, I suppose. Oh, much the same way as many of the others. When the fires came to Rome 7 months ago, my family and I fled for the Tiber, hoping to escape on a barge. We were among the fortunate ones with enough coins for passage, but unfortunately, there were a lot of desperate people. and they boarded before we could depart. A scuffle broke out, and I was pushed overboard. The last thing I remember was the water, rising up to hit my cheekbone. I woke up by the river, near that shrine, and stumbled across this place. Oh, that's all right. I'm sure it's all part of God's plan for me. If you like. I'm afraid not. Although, I did once hear someone gossiping down at Aurelia's tavern about a possible way out. I don't put a lot of stock in such rumors, but if you're desperate and wealthy, you could look into it, I suppose. If that doesn't work, then I suppose we're all stuck here until the gods decide our fate. Oh, I see. Well, that doesn't surprise me. I'm sorry I even suggested it. I won't make that mistake again. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. I think about those words a lot. I'd like to think that if we all love our neighbours as ourselves and do to them as we'd have them do to us, then we'll all be fine. But on the other hand, I was always taught the intent of man's heart is evil from his youth, and that all of us are born with a tendency towards sin. And that's where I get stuck. Is it true? Are we born with a tendency towards sin? If that's true, then sooner or later, things are going to end badly for all of us down here. Unless, of course, there's some kind of divine intervention. I wish I shared your faith. Even if I had seen it, and I'm not saying I have, I couldn't in good conscience give it to you. That's all I'll say.
Perhaps the match.
All right, well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you better over the coming months. And if you ever...
Suicidal.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no.
Great.
No. No. Orpheus, what are you doing? Get back from there.
That's the idea.
What?
Why do you think I'm stuck?
I know, please...
I'm sorry, but
Please,
Oh, shit,
help
we saw
him.
there.
Thank you.
You know about that? How is that possible? I mean, I've never mentioned it to anyone. Well, if you say so. You don't understand. I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want it all to be over. It's too late for that. Yulia and I made a pact, and she's already swallowed hemlock this morning. If I backed out now, I'd be betraying her. I can't do that. Oh, really? That changes things a little. But we're still in debt bondage to that monster. Unless you happen to have 2,000 denarii to pay off both of our
16
debts.
grand.
Really? Wait. So, I guess you'd want me to work for you then. You'd do that for us?
Well, I did
Couple
steal
of
it from
complete
everybody,
strangers.
so you can have this if I have to.
It seems today we're both blessed. This did not turn out how I thought. Thank you, friend. I never thought people like you existed. Thank you. I'll go and pay off our debts immediately. I just wish there was some way I could repay you. But I have nothing but the tunic on my back. I'll go and take care of things with Malleolus and tell Yulia the good news. Thanks again, friend. I'll never forget what you did for us.
I mean, is working for me really bad? Can I not survive this anymore? So that is his body down there? Let's go inside here, dude. Let me go inside here, dude. let me go inside here, dude. Invisible wall. See, I don't know the limits of this fucking game, dude. Oh, what's over here? Oh, this is the... I forgot who was destined. Who was that again? Destined to lift rocks, dude. Torment of lifting boulders over and over again, no matter how many times you raised it. Alright, so there's nothing here. Let me see if I can jump it. Will I die? He died, so... That's not how I wanted it to.
Thank you.
That's not how I wanted it to go, dude. I wanted to land at least in water. Let's just walk, huh?
Thank you. Thank you.
The jump physics in this game, I'm stuck at. Like trying to get that flower was terrible of me. You just have to press E and hurry up and remove E, or else you'll miss it. Let me try to like jump like this, like that, dude. Oh no, I'm too. Good.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to just land perfectly in the middle, dude. So he turned to like super skeletons. You know what I'm talking about? I didn't know that was his body. Like I guessed. But I was like, damn, how did he turn into just straight bones? Yeah.
Thank you.
Too narrow.
Thank you.
Way too narrow, dude. Oh no, what happened?
Who's this?
I hope we can say I'm a friend.
Listen, you creep. It's not your money we want. It's your ass.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You know, I like my style is old school style. Only God can make me win.
Like, comment, and subscribe, or I'll break your fucking legs.